Hey guys, it's Claire from CDB Eventing here. I'm making a bit of a difficult video to film today, however it's exciting as well. It is very exciting and I've got a really exciting package to unpack at the end of it. I've been waiting for it so long. The beginning of this year I had an idea and this package is kind of showing that it's actually happening. Like the whole thing is coming together and it's a completely new concept. It hasn't been done before in the eventing world or in the equestrian world that I know of, and I'm so that I know of, like how I'm doing it. I don't think it's been done before, and I'm really excited to tell you guys about it. So I was having a little think about mental health at the beginning of this year. I have struggled with mental health for my whole life. It's just a thing that, you know, I personally think everyone's kind of on a spectrum with mental health. I think everyone obviously has their moments of anxiety. Some have more anxiety than others. I think a lot of people go undiagnosed, which is fine. I just think everyone suffers from anxiety or depression or something like that on some scale, in my opinion. Like that, it doesn't mean it affects your day-to-day life, but I think everyone feels it sometimes. Okay, so when I was a teenager, I really didn't have a great time. Like loads of people, I'm susceptible to feeling a bit extra down at times because I have anxiety and depression, and I have done my whole life. So the things that happened like really got me down, and riding was kind of the only thing that I found joy in. And at the time I had a very difficult relationship with my horse. He was very tricky. This is Phoebus, who is there actually. We were retraining him, so obviously you have some blips along the way, you have ups and downs. However, it was winter, so I couldn't really hack because I only had to go after school. He was being really, really horrible to ride. I would get off crying every single time, and it just sucked all the joy out of it. So then I didn't want to ride, but I then just kind of stopped finding joy in everything, really. I was having a really rough time. Okay, the roughest trauma that I had, that I wasn't going to talk about, but I think the whole thing will make more sense if I tell you the full story. It's not even the full story, but like half the story. So my brother died about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and I obviously was absolutely distraught. So I ended up being hospitalised in a psychiatric hospital. That is not as scary as it sounds at all. It wasn't a fun part of my life. It was something that needed to happen. It wasn't like people being locked up in this psych ward that, you know, it's not like that at all. I chose to go in because it was torture how I was feeling. Oh my God, it was horrible. Like my anxiety was so bad, I couldn't do anything. I just felt so low all the time, and I wanted to change it. So I went into there for treatment, and the treatment isn't scary. It's rough. Working through stuff is really rough. So my problem was that I bottled everything up. I didn't say anything to anyone. I just got on with it. I just put my head down, worked harder, got on with it. At this point I was freelance riding and I had a lot of work. I didn't want to go into hospital. Well, I needed some convincing because I didn't want to give up work to go into hospital for a bit and stuff like that. But the reason that I was working so hard, like an absolute freak, like literally I was getting up at like 5 AM and riding 10 horses a day and driving like 5 hours. It was crazy. This was subconscious, but I wanted to keep my brain so busy that I couldn't think about Jamie, and I couldn't think about the things that happened before, and I couldn't feel anything because I was so busy. So that was why I was being like that. When I was in hospital, it wasn't, you don't all just sit around moping or anything like that. You very, very, very actively learn how to control your feelings, address your feelings, and then move on. I met the most incredible people in there, the strongest people I've ever met in my life. They are my absolute best friends now. They are my complete rocks. I was terrified to go in. I was so embarrassed. Like, it sounds awful if I say I was in a psychiatric hospital. It sounds awful. It sounds terrible. Like, it sounds so bad, and it shouldn't. It seriously shouldn't. If I had another illness and I went into hospital for a month, because I was an inpatient for a month. If I went into hospital for pneumonia, say, people wouldn't question whether I needed to be there, or wouldn't say, I don't know, she's crazy. It doesn't really fit like that. But, you know, if I told the wrong people and they thought about it in the wrong way, they'd say, she doesn't need to be there, she's making it up, or whatever, she's crazy, she's, you know, because that's what the psych ward sounds like, but it's not like that at all. We had very, very active, almost like science lessons. So they were telling us about the chemicals in our brain and how they affect us. And some people are born with some chemical levels lower or higher than others. And some events can cause them to drop higher and lower than others. And then they kind of get stuck like that. So the medication brings them back to normal. That's it. I mean, there's more complicated stuff than that. But essentially, that's why you get in the psychiatric ward. You understand what's happening, and then they put you on the right medication, and then you go. When I came out, I was so motivated. I felt like I had a handle on it now. I had told people how I was feeling. I'd actually let it out, and it felt freaking amazing. I could ride so much better because I wasn't carrying around all this ridiculous tension from years of depression. I came out and I was absolutely determined to try and make a difference in some way, because I couldn't open up to anyone. I wouldn't share how I was feeling. I wouldn't address how I was feeling myself. And this meant that when I was riding, I got extremely anxious going into the show jumping because I was scared to mess up. And the whole time I was terrified. And it wasn't because I was scared of falling off, it was because I was scared of me getting the stride wrong and messing up for my horse in front of people, basically. So letting everyone down, failing, you know, all of that. I was terrified of it. And it ruined the whole experience for me. So I really, really, really want to help people to have better mindsets when they're riding, and to teach people that it's really okay to let out how you feel and to express how you feel, and people will not judge you for it. And if they do, then they can get out of your life. Seriously, those are not the kind of people that you even want to associate yourself with. I can't express how important it is for you to let out how you're feeling and actually talk about it. I know it's a bit of a taboo subject, especially in the equestrian world, because everyone says, you know, eventers are so tough, you know, we're like a freakishly strong, toughish breed. Toughish. We're not meant to be scared, we're not meant to do this, we're meant to just get on with it, basically. But that's not how the brain works. You need to feel things. If you don't feel things, you have a bit of a problem. Hence why I was hospitalised. Any form of riding, it doesn't matter if you're competing or not, can be so upsetting when things go wrong, and it's such a mentally tough and mentally exhausting and tiring sport. It's really hard, and obviously because it's a lifestyle, it's not a sport. If it goes wrong, like if you have a bad event, then it can really, really hit home sometimes. So having a group of people around you with the same loves, the same passions, the same, you know, the same agendas, and that are going towards the same thing can really, really help to pick you back up again and keep you going and keep you motivated. And having people around you that understand, having someone that you can talk to without being judged, without, you know, you feel like you can be completely open about, that understands, in my opinion, is priceless, because I would have killed for that when I was younger. And all of the squad members are so exciting, and they're such lovely people. I'm really excited to develop them as riders and develop their mental strength and just push them to be the best that they can possibly be. I decided that I wanted to help people with their mindsets eventing as well as with their skills, so their riding skills, and with their training plans, like their whole season. I want to mentor people. I set up a mentorship scheme / program. It's called the CDB Eventing Training Squad. And I put this on social media, and immediately a Horse and Hound article was written about it, which I'll link below, which was so exciting. It was scary though, because I talked about I talked about my past and things like that. But it was out and I felt free. It was great. Although it's not the best way to get it out is to put it in a national magazine, but you know, it happened. It's out there now. It gave the squad some really good publicity, and applications started flying in, literally from all around the world. I'm not joking. People from America, people from Australia were asking if I could do it online with them. It's definitely in its kind of baby stages right now. It's not fully developed. The squad is not finished on how I'm running it. However, I then selected, how many team members do I have? So right now I have 5 squad members. I have one space for one more person. However, I wanted to keep it a very small number, and I felt awful having to turn people down. But as it's quite an intense mentorship, it takes a lot of time, and I write them training plans for their seasons. I'll do competition plans next year for the first 6 months or whatever. Training. They have training days at my yard where we all bring our horses. I do a demo on one of my horses, and then we do the same exercises on theirs. And we talk about mental health. I give a talk on a subject every time, and I'm always around 24/7 for whatever advice they need, help. You know, if they have a rough day with their horse, they can ring me and talk to me about it. I can talk them through it. They can get on the next day feeling a lot better. Things like that. Basically, I'm just there for them, and I improve their education horse-wise. We also do anatomy, and I'm giving them a really well-rounded education on horses and mindset. I'm helping them to focus on themselves as well as the horses. That is the most important part. Is they must look after themselves as well as they look after their own horses. So we launched that, and I was so excited by it. It went really, really well until I broke my ankle. So we're on a bit of a pause right now. My brain is ticking about what we're going to do next year, and I'm so excited to help people through similar things. This isn't saying at all that everyone on the squad has mental health issues, because that's really not accurate. I think people do get anxious at some point, and I can talk them through it using the skills that I learnt when I was in hospital. Being in hospital was pretty much giving you a course and giving you the skills to cope with your emotions and to cope with feelings. This is what annoys me, because the stigma around it makes that sound pathetic. It does. But using these skills, they are actual skills. I can control myself so that if I go into a show jumping round, I'm not nervous anymore, and I can be calm and I can focus. I can focus on what I'm doing with that horse rather than thinking about, oh, that person over there's looking at me, oh, what am I going to put on social media? Or I can put myself in the bubble with the horse now rather than stressing. And that's how it should be. You should be on your horse. It should be just you and your horse that you're thinking about and just enjoying life. Squad have a real team feel. They're all really good friends now. I take them to demos with other riders, and I'll take them cross-country schooling. We've got some very exciting things and trips set up for the next year. So after all of that waffle, I will show you this package that arrived today from a company called Tyler's something. I will link the thing down below. We have squad kit, and I'm so excited. This is one of the polo shirts. Let me undo the button, because no one wears them like that, and that looks a bit weird. Right, so this squad member is called Sophie, so she has her name on the front of it. And then on the back, it says CDB Eventing Training Squad. We have one of those for each team member. They didn't want me to be left out, so I got a 1, 2 that says coach on the back. And I love it. I feel so official. This is just the first batch, by the way. We're going to get more stuff. We're going to get, I don't know. We have some numbers as well. These are all GP or jump numbers. 2 of the ponies on the squad are quite small. They're like 13 hands. So this is a Rheingold one, because I really like the high wither ones. So this has a slightly padded and higher wither. But they don't do, this was what they had in stock for the smaller sizes. So this is a pony size, and it says CDB Eventing Training Squad on it as well. There are 2 of those, because for the 2 smaller ponies. And then we have 2 horses on the squad. For the bigger horses, we went for Lemieux, or Lemieux, or however you want to say it. Everyone says that differently. We have one of those. This is the Pro Sport one. It's a jumping number, and it just has CDB Eventing Training Squad on it as well. 2 of those. So each squad member gets a number. They also get a polo shirt. In the future, we'll be bringing out loads more stuff. As I said earlier, I do have 1 space left on the squad. If you are interested, I would love to have a chat with you. I just want everyone to enjoy it and not worry about stuff, and that's what we focus on mainly. Just enjoying the sport and in a team way, so everyone supports everyone, and it's just a big bunch of friends that are going through the same things together. And even things like they're supporting each other with GCSEs and like stuff like that. They're an amazing bunch of kids, and they're not really kids, they're grown-up kids. They're younger than me, so I call them kids. I'm so excited by all of this. It's actually real. I'm so excited to help people, and I really hope that it works well. Oh my god, I'm not that no. I've just had a really rough time, generally, and helping people through stuff so they don't suffer the way that I did just is a huge life aim for me. And if I could do that, if I could even help just one person, then I would be the happiest person in the world. It's because like my thought child has finally actually been born. Anyways, so I'm gonna stop this now because I'm getting emotional and that's not good. That literally just contradicted the whole video. That's not what I meant. I didn't mean getting emotional. It's not good. I meant I don't want to be emotional on camera. Oh yeah, by the way, that's Phoebus and that's Sandy. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, or if I raised any issues that you were really interested in, I will be talking more about mental health in the future, although in a more structured way than this video, because this was kind of like a bit of a ramble, a structured ramble. But in future I will do more sit-down videos about mental health. I'll do videos about how I cope with my anxiety, going into show jumping, going into, you know, things like that. I deal with the bad times. As everyone knows, there's highs and lows in horses, many lows. And I document all of them in my vlogs. That's very important to me to show that it's not, life isn't perfect. If you look through your Instagram reel, you're seeing people's highlights. You're not seeing their whole lives. So don't judge yourself on others. Life isn't like that. It's not perfect and pink and fluffy. It is a roller coaster. It goes up and then it goes way far down and then it can shoot right back up again. And that's what I really want to talk about, and I really want to help people to understand that and to cope with that in their own lives. So I'm going to keep portraying life as a professional eventer as it is. I have loads of ideas for videos that I really hope you guys will like. If you have any more video ideas, I would love for you to put them in the comments for me so I can see what I can do. Please hit that subscribe button. Let's help this to grow as much as we can and help to spread as many kind of positive vibes about mental health as we can, because I feel like this is a really important message. I just want to help as many people as I can. So if you subscribe, and if more people subscribe, then we can help tons of people. Anyone who follows me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything like that, it honestly inspires me to keep going, motivates me to keep going. So genuinely, when you subscribe to Me Is the World, it actually does, because it means that you kind of you're supporting what I'm doing. Everything's not going to be, all my videos aren't going to be as deep as this either. I'm crazy and stupid most of the time, so there'll be a lot of that too. And I'm going to Olympia, so there'll be a freaking big tack haul after that. Please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Is it down there? I think it's there somewhere. There. Hit that, smash the subscribe button, leave a comment telling me what you would like to see in my new video, and if you like the team kit. Any questions about the squad, I'm happy to answer, and please share this video far and wide, that'd be great. My next video, I believe, may be a yard tour, so that'll be exciting. I've honestly got so many videos ideas, and I'm really excited to properly focus a bit more on YouTube now. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.